It's already a vaccination leader in Europe, and now Denmark is one of the first to promise a digital vaccine passport. For these frontline workers, that could mean more freedom.
I think lots of people will use it, and for the world economy, it will be good, so we can move on.
It's a push to get life back to normal, the potential to open up travel, restaurants, even concerts for those who have been vaccinated.
It's an app that you can download.
IBM is pitching its technology, an app using a QR code that when scanned gives COVID information, including test results and vaccine status.
The more countries that will connect to a platform where this information can be shared, the more valuable the platform gets. But we need to start somewhere.
Concerns have been raised about privacy and that people who can't get a vaccine would be unable to return to normal life.
The drive here in Denmark mostly comes from business life and politicians.
This virologist also has public health concerns, not only because the vaccine doesn't give 100% immunity, but because of mutations.
There are these variants, and just a single introduction could be sufficient to cause serious harm to the Danish society. So I don't see that the passport can work on its own.
But for businesses, it can't come soon enough. The owner of this hot dog shop says he would happily check customers' passports if there were no restrictions at all.
Corona pandemic is very bad for business, for my business and for Denmark. We bleeding every day.
But for now, it's just a promise, then on detail, that the Danish government says should be up and running by the summer. Renee Filipponi, CBC News, London.
You know what I noticed about that opening clip? It had all the buzzwords of the narrative the elite have been pushing to implement their agenda of a one-world digital system and universal order, more freedom, world economy, get life back to normal. All premised on the idea that in order to get back to this new normal, there's only one way and one simple choice to make, which is take that jab. Call halal Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom Yasharallah. A couple days ago, I uploaded a video on my BitChute channel regarding the vaccine. You'll never guess what's in it and the effects you're likely to suffer if you're, in fact, stupid enough to take it. I'd be remiss if I didn't open with this. This is 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 20, and it reads, O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, meaning guard what has been entrusted to your care. What was committed to Timothy's care? The doctrine and teaching of the good news, meaning this truth, the gospel, pursuant to 1 Timothy 1 and 11. Above everything, remembering Israel has a Savior, Deliverer, and Redeemer in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane, meaning outside of the temple, and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. And that is exactly what this whole idea of being saved by taking the vaccine is. Pseudo-science. Pseudo meaning not actually, but having the appearance of, pretended, false or spurious, sham, almost approaching or trying to be, science. Science simply meaning knowledge or knowing of. This is where the elite really want you to commit your trust, knowing not only is the vaccine bullshit, but the whole pandemic is a sham. Health officials are not even calling it a vaccine anymore. They're calling it a gene therapy, 100% immunity. What a joke. The truth is, on average, those that have contracted CV19 after taking the vaccine is staggering. 2 Ezra 15 and 17 says this, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. The idea behind launching a digital passport is to grant those that have taken the thing to move around in public without being hindered by the imposed restrictions more freely. And the same idea is being attributed to business and enterprise. Obviously, those that refuse to take that thing, their freedom to move will be limited and controlled, and thus begins the normalizing of the narrative going digital, a digital economy, and the interaction of the Internet of Things. 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 18, and it reads, for because of their pride Esau's pride in life, as well as the idea that they, because of their bloodline, should be in full control as they are the only nation worthy enough to rule. The city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed. And that's what you see taking place right now. Loved ones are separated from each other, and public gatherings, even with your own kin, are prohibited. And men shall be afraid. And the number one propagator of that fear right now is corporate news and the mainstream media. In the hands pursuant to Job 9 and 24, meaning under the ownership and rule of Amalek, the chief house of Esau Edom, who we know through the scriptures is the sword Yahweh uses against Yasharallah and the rest of humanity. Psalm 34 and 4 says this: I sought Yahweh, and he heard me and delivered me from all my fears. Verse 7, the angel of Yahweh encampeth round about them that fear him, and delivereth them. And then there's Proverbs 29 and 25. The fear of man bringeth a snare, meaning a trap. The trap here is taking the jab and soliciting this digital passport app in the hopes of resuming more convenient living conditions. But whoso putteth his trust in the Lord Yahweh shall be safe. Pretty soon, if not already, they'll be identifying anyone who spreads the awareness of the detriment of health you are likely to suffer after taking the jab. Anyone being vocal against this suicide in a syringe will be deemed a domestic terrorist. In any event, whatever they roll out in Europe is more than likely to be instituted here on Western shores. Let's close with this. This is Colossians chapter 2, verse 8, and it reads, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, i.e. build back better, the new normal, etc., after the tradition of men, after the rudiments, meaning principles of any discipline and science, really governed by the left-handed spiritual forces of the world, and not after Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Hamashiach. Call halal Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, through the power and spirit, I hope you edified. Double honors unto the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach us 100% truth and rule well. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom, Yasharallah. Don't take that test, don't take that jab, and don't take that chip.
People are not as dumb as people would think. With all the brilliant white psychiatrists and psychologists, you've been able to find a damn path to the moon, but you ain't been able to find one goddamn path 1 mile up the street. Maybe you better take time with all this unique ability to find all these scientific discoveries that you've got to learn how to find your way into men's hearts and the men's minds.